Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's subject is about the arrays in C# and the array list. I will try to show the small differences there is between these two. If we start to make a string array and call it like friends, then we can put some values in our friends array. Yeah, maybe we'll call it friends array. And then let's say we got some names here. Let's make these three. And that's basically how you make an array, a normal array, with the type of strings. If you want to put integers, like 12, 14, 20, then you need to write int here, because it will be an int array. Now, that's how you make the normal array, and now I'm going to show you how to make the array list, which is a little bit different. Let's call it generic array, new array list, like that. And now it's gonna tell you that you need to use this collections. So you import it. Okay, so now we got this string array and the array list. Now you can see we haven't put any values in array list, because when you put it in your array list, it's a little bit different. You call the generic array and use add, which is an method built in this array list, and then I'm gonna write like James. So now my normal array have Joey, Ross and Chandler, while this array list only got James. Now I'm gonna tell you why I called it generic array. Well, array list is really good to get a lot of different types. So when I want to use that again and call the add method, I don't need to put a string again. And that's actually the main difference between the array and the array list. Here I can add the number 20 and it will not show me any arrows. So let's say now we want to print out how what there is in these arrays. Let's say that we didn't know this was in this array. So we can make an int I, and I is standing for index. So while I is 0 and I is smaller than friends array dot length. Now dot length tell us about how many index numbers there is in friends array. So if you want to print Joey, we call friends array of 0, because it's always starting 0, and then it count up to 1 and 2. So we say while I is lower than 2, I++. Okay, and then what do we want to show? We want to console right line. So we want to print the names out of the friends array, the index of that. Okay, so if we try to run this code, we should print out these three names. And you can see Joey, Ross, and Chandler is printed out. So now let's say we want to print this out. We can use our for loop again, and now I need to call it another value than I, because I already used I up there. So while int j is 0 and j is lower than generic array, now it's not the length but the count, and that's something you just learn while doing a lot of exercises. Then you remember easy that ArrayList is count and arrays is length. So here we want to console write line the generic array j. So now if we comment this, we should have James and 20. So when we run this code, you get the James and 20. Thank you. That's today's exercise.